Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Reftaco, and today we're back with another video, and week 2 is here. Week 1 is obviously in the books. I did very well in week 1, as you see right there. I predicted the Patriots beating the Bengals, and yeah, let's just get right into this video. Week 2, let's go. Let's start off with Thursday night, the Bills and the Dolphins. This game is in Miami. The Bills, they're coming off of a win. It was a little bit of an issue with their defense. It didn't look great. You know, Kyler Murray and Greg Dortch were lighting them up. When you look at the rest of the team, offense, they played pretty decently. I mean, they put up 34 points. They definitely got the job done. When you look at the Dolphins, had a okay game against Jacksonville. You got the win. Your offense didn't look amazing. They got clicking, got that deep ball to Reek, and it kind of changed after that. Their defense, it was okay. I think when you look at this game, divisional matchups, I would say it's going to be pretty close, pretty competitive, pretty high scoring, I would say. And I'm going to have the Bills coming out on this one, 31-28. You know, I don't really have too much faith in both of these defenses. I think that the Bills are just going to get the better of them here. They're going to be better, you know, coached early in the season especially, and I think that that's just going to help them get this win here, 31-28. Then you start off on Monday with the Vikings and the Niners. When you look at the Niners, got a really solid win against the Jets. They were able to get the job done and win against, you know, a pretty solid offense and a pretty decent defense. No CMC. I'm guessing he'll be back. When you look at the Vikings, they dominated the Giants, which on one aspect is like, yeah, it's the Giants. But on the other hand, they looked really good. Sam Darnold looked really good. You know, the defense looked really good. I really like what I saw from the Vikings team. I do still think that the Niners are a buzzsaw. They're going to be hard to get through. I have them winning 26-21. It's going to be a closer game, a pretty exciting game. I just think that the Niners are going to come out on top. The Vikings are still not this absolute juggernaut. I think that they're a pretty decent team, not this, you know, upper echelon crazy something. That's why I have the Niners winning. Then you got the Seahawks and the Patriots. I believe this is in New England. When you look at the Patriots, they got a really solid win against the Bengals. It was a gritty game, but at the same time, you were the lesser team, and you came in there and you won a football game. It was a good coaching performance from Gerard Mayo. Their defense played great. Their offense played all right enough. They got a win. When you look at the Seahawks, they didn't play great against the Broncos. They found a way to sneak out. When their offense wanted to perform well, it seemed like they performed really well. You know, they had the two safeties. I do think that Seattle, you know, they can definitely get a groove on, and I think that they will. I think that this will be, you know, Seattle's the better team here. This will be a game that they'll be able to take 24-14. Patriots, they're a solid team. I just don't see them matching up to Seattle because I mean, it's a really well constructed roster. It's a really good team. That's kind of it. That's why I have them winning. You have the Giants and the Commies. I'm guessing it's in Washington. When you look at the Commies, they had an okay game. They lost. Yes, their defense did not look great against, you know, Baker Mayfield. The offense looked fine. They looked promising. There was something to build on. And then when you look at the Giants, it was bad. It was bad. I don't think I have to explain this game a lot. The Giants, they do kind of own the Commanders a little bit, but I do think that the Commanders are going to win this game. They had a better week 1 performance. I think that they're just going to have a better performance. 23-15. The Giants, man, they really got something to figure out, especially on defense. That defense was supposed to be great, and it just wasn't. You got the Chargers and Panthers. This game is in Carolina. When you look at the Chargers, they had a really solid win. J.K. Dobbins had a super good game. Their defense played pretty well. I only allowed 10 points. They played pretty good. Yeah, when you look at the Chargers, it was a pretty decent outing. They were able to win. When you look at the Panthers, it was bad. It was ugly. They finally kind of got something going on offense a little bit later, but it was bad. I hope that you're able to build on it. I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt. You're only going to lose 26-13, but yeah, I do hope for, Panthers fans, that it gets a little better, man. That's all I got to say. You got the Saints and the Cowboys. This is in Dallas. When you look at the Cowboys, got a really good win week 1 against the Browns. They played solid, kind of all aspects. They were a team that, we thought could kind of reach bottom of the barrel this year. They could have been pretty bad, and they weren't. They got a really good win against what's probably still a pretty decent team. When you look at the Saints, absolute beatdown of the Carolina Panthers. There's no other way to say it. With that being said, you're looking at two teams, pretty good offenses, I would say, from what we saw in week 1. I think that that'll continue. Higher scoring, close game. I do think that the Cowboys will be able to edge this one out. 30-27. The Saints, they played a great game, but it was against a lesser opponent. I'm still going to go back. The Saints are an okay team, and Dallas is a little better than an okay team. So I have Dallas winning. Then you got the Packers and the Colts. I'm guessing that this is in Green Bay. When you look at the Packers, they had a really solid outing against the Eagles. Yes, they lost, but the Eagles are a competitive team, at least I hope. And you were able to put up a really good fight. Now, you did lose Jordan Love. That's obviously the big statement for this game. You have Malik Willis coming in. I don't know. Malik Willis could have, fixed something. Hopefully. He's had some time to develop. When you look at the Colts, it was a solid game. Yes, you lost to the Texans. Texans are a super good football team. You were expected to lose there. And you did. But it was a really good outing. I like what I saw from Anthony Richardson. With that being said, I do like the Colts in this game because Jordan Love is out. And because I like what I saw from the Colts, I'll have them winning 20-19. A pretty close game, a little bit lower scoring. They'll be able to come out with the win. And I got that stupid yellow effect again. You've got the Jags and the Browns. This game is in Jacksonville. When you look at the Jags, they had a pretty solid outing against the Dolphins. They did lose, but the Dolphins are a better team than them. I think that they fixed whatever was the factor that made them, miss the postseason last year. When you look at the Browns, it wasn't great. You lost to Dallas, and you lost pretty badly. That's the truth. I do think that you'll be able to get back on track a little bit. With that being said, I do like the Jags in this game. I do like what they showed more than the Browns. I have them winning 24-16. The Jags, they're a pretty good team compared to the Browns. I just think that they're better. It's that simple. We got the Titans and the Jets. I don't know where this game is. When you look at the Titans, they had a bad performance, okay? They got up 17-0, and then it all went downhill. Their defense played great. Their offense did not. When you look at the Jets, they played a very solid team. They lost by quite a bit. I do still think that there's some hope there. It isn't a lost season, which I've said for the Jets probably the last 15 years. With that being said, I do like what the Jets showcased. I do think that the Jets are a better team. I'm going to have them beating the Titans 24-19. It'll be a closer game. But I think that the Jets and Aaron Rodgers are going to find a way to get on top. You've got a pretty good matchup between the Bucs and the Lions. When you look at the Lions, it was a solid outing last week. You got that big lead early. Jameson Williams looked great. And then you blew that lead. And obviously you got to fix that. Overtime came, and you were the better team. That's why you won that football game. When you look at the Bucs, a really solid offensive outing against the Commies. They got a win. They got a much-needed win, obviously. I think that they looked like a pretty good team as well. With that being said, when it comes to both of these teams, the Lions, I just think that they're better. The Lions are a great football team. I have them winning a pretty close one, 27-24. The Bucs will be able to give them a bit of a run for their money. I just overall think that the Lions, though, are a really competitive team, and they'll be able to get one out, whether it's gritty or they're just able to air it down the field. They'll find a way to win, and that's the thing that the Lions have that they haven't had in for forever. You got the Raiders and the Ravens. This is in somewhere. The Raiders, they had a bad outing, especially on offense, going up against Los Angeles. When you look at the Ravens, they were very close to winning. Very close to winning, or at least tying the Kansas City Chiefs. They played good. When you look at both of these teams, one is much better than the other, and that's the Baltimore Ravens. I expect them to come out. I expect them to show up. 27-12, a pretty solid win here for the Ravens. I don't like what I saw from the Raiders. They're not giving the ball to Devontae Adams. Minshew just doesn't look great. He didn't look great in preseason either. Wish the best for him, but I think that the Ravens are going to blow him out. And to start off a pretty weak 4 o'clock slate with the Cardinals and the Rams. This game is somewhere. When you look at the Cardinals, it was a pretty solid game against Buffalo. For the expectation, they played really well. They were able to bring it down to the wire. Didn't come out right, but the offense looked great. When you look at the Rams, they were able to go to the wire with the Lions, who are also a super good team. They're held in a higher regard, the Rams are, just because, the Cardinals were the worst team in the league last year and the Rams almost made the playoffs. But I do like what both these teams showcased. With what I just said and what they both did, I do have the Rams winning this game, but I think that it'll be high scoring. I think it'll be pretty close, 28-25. The Rams, they'll be able to come out, show out, and win this game. But the Cardinals, they're going to be sneaky this year, okay? Trust me. And, again, you got the Chiefs and the Bengals. When you look at the Bengals, it was bad, okay? It was bad against the Patriots. You got to find a way to fix it. I do think that they will. I do think that they will at some point. They started off the season slow very consistently. When you look at the Chiefs, they came out firing, and they came out with a really good game against the Ravens, and they won it. When you look at both of these teams, obviously the Bengals, there's some issue there. The Chiefs, I don't think that there is. I think that the Bengals will get kind of back on track, but I do still have the Chiefs winning this game 27-21. They find a way to win these. Not always against the Bengals, but against good teams, the Chiefs come out on top. And that's what's going to happen here. Then you got the Broncos and the Steelers. When you look at the Steelers, it was an okay win. You had to start Justin Fields kind of unprecedentedly. And he played okay. I think that they're going to go back to him again. They're still kind of unsure about this little Russell Wilson calf thing. When you look at the Broncos, they played better than I think a lot of people expected. Bo Nix didn't play great. You probably would have wanted a better game from him, but I think that it's okay. When you look at this game, it's going to be defensive focused, the way that all Steelers games are, and they'll be able to come out on top 17-13. Steelers are always a great team. They find a way to win games. This is one of those games that they find a way to win because it's not a great team. And sometimes they will not show up against not good teams. Anyways, I think the Steelers will get a win. And it's the beautiful Sunday night football. The Bears, the Texans in NRG. When you look at the Bears, they didn't have a good game offensively. Caleb Williams didn't play great, but they got a win. Their special teams played great. Defense did their job. It was a very solid game for the Bears. When you look at the Texans, I would say an even more solid game. You played a pretty tough team in those Colts, and you were able to come out on top. A lot of your weapons look good. Joe Mixon looked great, and I think that team will be able to come together really well. With that being said, I do like the Texans here. I'm going to have them winning 34-20. The Texans' offense seems like something where it just can roll like a train. Just keep on rolling throughout the season. I don't know if the Bears can say that. I don't think that the Bears can keep up. That's why I have the Texans getting a win here. And Monday Night Football, the Falcons, the Eagles. This is in the link. When you look at the Falcons, it wasn't a good game against the Steelers. Your offense just was silenced by TJ Watt and the Steelers defense. When you look at the Eagles, very solid win in Brazil against a pretty good team, I would say. I like what I saw from that team. Saquon Barkley looked amazing. When you look at this game, the Eagles, they might have some jet lag. Even though it seemed like it didn't hurt them when they were actually in Brazil, I don't think that this will throw them off a lot. I think that they'll still be able to get a 24-17 win here. It'll be closer maybe than people want. The Eagles will be able to come out on top because they're the better team in this scenario. With that being said, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm losing my voice I'm losing my voice while making this. Is the point. Can't even get a sentence across. But I will see y'all in the next one. Peace.